Welcome to the Power Sports Channel. My name is Richard. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Today I'm going to be talking about the Cardinals going up against the Eagles. So I definitely think that this is a winnable game for the Cardinals for the most part. The Eagles are 4-0. I am very happy for the Eagles that they are 4-0 because I was an Eagles fan when they had Donovan McNabb and Terrell Owens and what was his name? The running back. It was Westbrook, and then I do believe at that time as well, LaShawn McCoy was coming up too, and they also had Darren Sproles, but that's over a period of years. Yeah, I'm very excited for this game. I was watching two of the Eagles' previous games. So I watched the game against the Jaguars and I watched the game against the Redskins. So from the very beginning in the Redskins game, that was week 3, it looks like their defense is just on a tear. You have Fletcher Cox, you have Hassan Reddick. Now, this is the craziest part about this. Somehow, the Eagles not only have Darius Slay, but they also have Brad, what is this? Oh my God, any other time I would remember his name, Bradbury. So Bradbury winds up getting cut, I do believe, by the Giants, and he winds up signing with the Eagles. Initially, I wanted him to actually get signed by the Cardinals, but that didn't happen because we desperately need cornerback help even now, even though our defense isn't as bad as we thought it was going to be. It's actually better than we thought it was going to be. But in this game, the defense is just eating the Redskins alive. By the end of the first quarter, they have like 4 or 5 sacks. Hassan Reddick, former Arizona Cardinal, who to an extent I can understand why the Cardinals let him go. I do kind of find it kind of weird when it finally works out for a player in that contract year where they figure out it in the contract year, but at the same time, as an organization, if you're continuously moving a player around to figure out where his production's going to be, I can definitely see how that can also lead to issues as well. So I just wish that they could have figured out who he was before. But that game against the Redskins, the Eagles wind up winning that game. And I did notice something very interesting about this Redskins game. The Eagles offense sputters like the first two or three drives. Keep that in mind, because that's also going to be something, that's also going to be another aspect I'm going to speak about in a minute as well with the other game. The defense is on point. Their defenders are where they need to be. If you look at the game against the Redskins, their defenders are where they need to be when playing the ball. The Redskins really didn't have an effective running game either because the Eagles were always right there ready to get after them. So this defense is really good. They're really athletic. It's just crazy to see a defense this good. And I could easily say that so far, this will more than likely be the most hardest defense for the Cardinals to beat. I know I might have said something like that about the Rams, but there's a difference here. I feel like the Eagles have it more top to bottom. The Rams kind of have it defensive linemen. They have a safety here, a linebacker there, but primarily that defensive line for the Rams. And they also have Jalen Ramsey, so that's great. So the Eagles basically beat them easily, which is great for them. In the next game, I was very excited to watch the next game because of the simple fact that it was a game in the rain and to see how they play. And once again, it's another situation where you are seeing that they are able to win even in situations that are not perfect. So it is raining. They're playing against the Jaguars. Um, the Jaguars get a 14-0 lead on them quickly. I mean, very quickly. Um, and once again, those first two possessions for the Eagles, I do believe were 3 and outs. So that, what does that show us? Number one, they are a slow starting offense. So the Cardinals today need to start fast. Get some points up there on the board, put some pressure on them to have to stop us. Show them some different looks, get that ball down the field. The Redskins possibly could have won their game if they possibly got some points on the board early, but they weren't able to. They weren't able to score until the fourth quarter. What really helped the Eagles in this game was basically just the Jaguars quarterback just constantly fumbling the ball. I do believe he fumbled the ball roughly 3 or 4 times in that game. So, and I do believe that led to either 2 or 3 scores for them. So there's that. So their defense wasn't able to affect the Jaguars the same way it affected the Redskins. The offensive line for the Jaguars just played a whole lot better, I would say. Yes, were they able to get after Trevor Lawrence? Yes, they were. But at the same time, it wasn't to the same effect. Yes, there were fumbles by the Jaguars, but at the same time, it wasn't the same exact thing. But I am still going to say that the Eagles defense is going to be very difficult to beat because it just seems like they are everywhere. They had their receivers covered for the most part. Travis Etienne of the Jaguars was never really able to get going because he was just smothered all day. There was really nothing that he could do. Christian Kirk, that big off-season contract that he signed with the Jaguars, was never really able to get going. I think he might have had 2 catches. That's about it. There wasn't really much there for him. Another thing is this. Now, I'm going to flip over to the offense. It's going to be very important for us to stop their running game. This team has a very good offensive line. Very good. I could easily say that it's possibly the best offensive line in the game of football right now with the way they pass block, with the way they run block. If we cannot stop their running game, we are going to be in trouble because it's going to set up everything else. In this game, their offense didn't come alive until the second quarter. But at the same time, the Jaguars had their opportunities to possibly put that game away. If Trevor Lawrence doesn't fumble the ball, you don't know, they probably win that game. And the Eagles probably take a L that game, more than likely. But they didn't. The Cardinals are going to have to figure out a way to limit that running game. They're also going to have to figure out a way to be able to at least slow down A.J. Brown. Because A.J. Brown's kind of sneaky at times. So the ball is not always in A.J. Brown's hands. And that's the scariest part about it. Because you're thinking, oh, A.J. Brown, big superstar. He should be catching 11 balls for about $150. No. This young man catches 3 catches for probably 75 yards. 4 catches for maybe 100 yards. He gets the ball when he needs it. When the ball is thrown to his area, please make sure that you're in the right place at the right time to be able to at least put up a quality effort to try to knock the ball away from him. He is very sure-handed. He's very good at just going up and snatching the ball. He's the type of wide receiver that I would love to have on the Cardinals. But at the same time, it's kind of difficult to be able to say, hey, this is what we what we should be doing, and then we don't go out and do it. There have been several games where we were actually able to keep our opponents in check, opponents who had 2, 3 quality options. So the Eagles have like Quez Watkins, players like that. I do believe David Boston might be back for this game, but he's a running back. Um, it's just very important that we keep AJ Brown, double teamed when we can, and we're gonna have to be very disciplined to be where we need to be. We cannot afford to rush after to get out of our rush lanes and then allow the quarterback to run up the field because we weren't able to get the sack or we weren't able to just sustain the pressure long enough. But his offensive line for the Eagles is very good. So, yeah, it just seems like this team is just very good at just getting the ball down the field. Even though they say it looks like a college offense, I don't really say it looks like a college offense. Is there a lot of motion plays? Yes. Is there like bubble screens and things of that nature? Yes. A lot of just QB runs at times, yes. I just love his direct snaps. Oh, another thing is this. In that game where it was raining, not only was their running game on point, but I love the fact that the Eagles quarterback was willing to actually do just the QB dive. The ball is at the 1, it's 4th and 1, it's 3rd and 1. The winds are swirling. You're not sure that the kicker would actually be able to make this kick. Jalen Hurts was actually able to do 3 or 4 effective QB dives that kept the drives going. You don't really see that with Kyler Murray. You don't. And I understand that every single quarterback has their own way of doing things, but still, you got to be willing to do the QB dive because there's way too many 3rd and 1s, 4th and 1s where we're not even running the ball. We're still throwing it. Why? I don't know. I don't know why running the ball or on 3rd down or 4th down and 1, 3rd down and 1, 3rd down and 2, it's just so hard to grasp. I don't know if they think that that's from a bygone era. It is not. Let's try to tackle the things that make sense first. Let's try to do that. There's no need to make that 10 times harder by trying to throw an out route 10 yards down the field, and the wide receiver had no way of catching that. It's just weird. It truly is. Another thing is this. Jalen Hurts ran the ball in. I literally had to take a lick to get the ball into the end zone, but was able to do it. I mean, the hit was hard by the Jaguars defender, but he got into the end zone. That's called, I want to do this. It's called, I want to win. I think the keys to the game for the Cardinals today is just, being where they need to be, winning the war on the line of scrimmage, whether that is offensively or defensively. If Kyler Murray is in a constant state of running for his life, this is not going to be a good game. I definitely do believe that this is a winnable game for the Cardinals. I already know that there's going to be a ton of Eagles fans at this game. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not going to encounter with any of them, but I am looking forward to finally seeing the Philadelphia Eagles live today. I got to get on the road soon. Get out of here. The keys to the game, just once again winning on the line of scrimmage, controlling what you can control, taking what the defense gives you. Another thing is this. I want to see the Cardinals take some shots down the field. I don't like this dinking and dunking stuff. I really don't. 5 yards here, 5 yards there. You don't even need the defense to put a cap on you. You put a cap on yourself with the dinking and the dunking. Because sometimes there are wide open receivers down the field that for some reason you can't see. And I don't know why you can't see them. I'm not here to judge nobody, but I don't know why you can't see them. And that's not on me to figure it out for you. Another thing is this. We have to be aware of where A.J. Brown is. We have to be aware of where Dallas Goedert is. We have to be aware. We cannot afford to be torn apart by these guys. Now, I'm not saying that the Cardinals are going to be, but they have to be aware of where they are, because this could turn out really bad. And we also need to be able to blitz Jalen Hurts, because I noticed in those games when he was blitzed and he had to make a play quickly, quite a few times he wasn't able to do it. Did he run and have to pick up yards himself? Yes. But there was quite a few times where I looked where he was blitzed and he had to throw on the run and it did not work out well. So we got to force the issue. We got to get home. I think one of the best parts about this game for the Cardinals is the simple fact that they've already gone against quite a few teams that have 2, 3 quality wide receivers. I do believe that this could be another game where the Cardinals defense shows out, but we need the Cardinals offense to show up early. We need to be able to run the ball efficiently, and we need to be able to stretch their defense, get them uncomfortable, get them on their back foot. Because the only game that I saw out of those 2 games where the defense actually might have had an issue was that Jaguars game. They got to figure out what they got to do to win this game. It definitely helps that they went up against the Rams already, the Raiders. I'm not going to say the Chiefs really, but the Chiefs do have some pretty good wide receivers. But that's basically about it, guys. I definitely think that this is going to be a winnable game for the Cardinals, just like last week's game against Carolina. I'm going to say the final score is the Cardinals winning. About 28-19. Yeah, 28-19. That seems about right. So guys, thank you for watching the Power Sports channel. I truly appreciate it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And guys, don't forget about my the drawing that I'm having at the end of the year. If we're able to get to the desired amount of subscribers, I will be giving out $1,000. So if we can get to 100,000 subscribers, that would truly be great. Thank you.